Well, good morning and welcome to the morning chat, morning motivation with FlyLady Kat. I'm here today to give you peace in your life, control in your home, and to help you learn how to finally love yourself. We follow the FlyLady system and it works really well. Okay, today is Sunday and it is Renew Your Spirit Day. We don't work in a zone today and we have 3 routines today. So we have a 2-layer cake. Routines, renew your spirit. It's a sweet way to start the day. All right, let me say hey to who's popping in here. Hi, Michelle Scarberry and Lynn Corp and Shannon Engelken. Good morning. Happy Sunday morning. Good morning, Raquel Congreen. I haven't talked to you in a while. Angie Lee, good morning. Amanda Wood, good morning. Love these live videos, helping me so much. I'm so glad. Misty, good morning, Misty Amon and Gretchen Berkey and Robin Whitaker. Hi to all of you. I'm drinking my breakfast. We're all tied. We had a good game last night. Linda, at Mom, good morning. Love you, Kat. Oh, love you too, Purple Hearts. Rana Lambeth, hello. I thought I missed your chat today, so I was listening to another video. No problem. Tressa, good morning. Tressa Wilson and Angel Studvent. Angel Studvent, okay. Got my kids' presents put away, Sheen did. All right, Sheen Bean too. Hey, Angel. Joanna Sparandio. Is that right? Today I'm having a hard time with your name, Joanna. Anyway, Sparandio. I think that's right. Good morning. Good morning. Good happy Sunday morning. And Sylvie Page W. Good morning. How's everybody? I just got back from Mass. It was great. It was the Feast of the Holy Family. So we're going to talk about families today. It's going to be a good one. All right. And family issues. And family, not issues, but things that happen in families, and I'm going to talk specifically about an email I received from someone. Sperandio. Is that right? Oh, it's like Italian, Sperandio. I hope I said it right. Rachel says, trying to get back on track domestically. You can do it, Raquel. That's Raquel, not Rachel. Rhonda said, just getting ready for church today since we don't have Sunday school. Okay. It's Italian, Joanna says. Sperandio. I'll try to remember that. Shannon Engelken says, getting ready to go to Mass and my kitchen and bathrooms are sparkling clean. Twinkle, twinkle. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay. Well, I'm thinking we won't have a lot of people because it's Sunday morning, but I still want to talk to you. Know that I prayed for all of you. I prayed for your peace and joy and hope and love and grace and mercy. Those are the gifts this year that you have. Elizabeth Whitney Avery says, good morning. Good morning. Okay, let's talk about families. I received a little letter, a little note from a sweet girl who lives in another country, not the United States, and she lives with her in-laws. She and her husband and their children live with their in-laws. And I think everything's okay except the kids. She wants to raise the children a certain way, and one of her in-laws wants to supersede her request and do it her way. And so I told her that if she could, it's good to have hope and to plan to move out because it's hard for adults to live together. But the more I thought about it, the more I want to go back and add some more to that. Because let's say that you want your child to, I don't know, learn how to put on their shoes, and your mother-in-law keeps putting the shoes on the child, and you've talked to her and asked her to please let your child do this because you want them to learn how to put their shoes on and be independent, yet the mother-in-law continues to baby the children, okay? So as I'm thinking about this later on, a thought comes to me, you know what? When your children are grown, they're still going to be able to put on their shoes, whether their grandmother pampered them a little bit or not. And so it's not the end of the world. So let's not build things up to be bigger than they are, even though it is hard when another adult overtakes your children. And it's not healthy for grown-ups to live together who aren't husband and wife. It's just hard for adults to live together because we're intended to live in our own households. But sometimes we have to. And the thing that the children will get out of this is that they will remember that their grandma loved them. And that's important. And so let's not build it up to more than it is. Let's still make plans to get out in this situation, to get out of the situation. and just have some more love between each other, between the in-laws. I know that's hard. Joanna said it's hard enough to live with your spouse. That's funny, Joanna. But I want you to know that there are other situations. There are situations where we're just together for a holiday, and an adult who is not your spouse acts like they have authority over you and your family and your children, and they don't. And it's very difficult, but it's just for a season. It's just for a time. It's just for an hour or months. It's not for the rest of your life. So we're going to have to learn how to give a little bit and how to try to have some compassion for the person who is doing this. Because I know as a grandmother, sometimes I've done things and my kids have gone, Mom, and you know, it's embarrassing because you just think you're doing something wonderful and it's not so wonderful in their eyes. So, sorry about this hairdo. So you want to make sure that you're using some compassion and see where they're coming from. You know, especially as a grandmother, we really want to baby our babies because our own babies are gone and we miss that. And we want to do that. And it's hard because these are, and if you are a grandmother, remember, these are not your children. They are your grandchildren. They are under the authority of their parents. And your job is to honor their wishes because it's their children. You got to raise your children, and maybe you didn't. Maybe you didn't get to have freedom in raising your children, but it was your right. And unfortunately, maybe you didn't get a chance to exercise that. But now that you're the grandmother, know that it is that parent's right to raise that child. They get to name it. They get to feed it the way they want. They get to put it to bed when they want, give it a bath when they want, correct it when they want, not correct it when they want. And we may not agree at all, but that is not our place. Our place is to pray for our grandchildren. That's our place. And to love them as much as we can. Okay, let's see what everybody has to say about this. I'm seeing lots of things pop up here, but I just wanted y'all to know that it's more important to let your children feel love from their grandparents and for you to have compassion and to kind of see where they're coming from and ask them nicely, you know, firmly but kindly not to do certain things. And if they insist, there's nothing you can do about it. But get yourself out of this situation as soon as you can. And sometimes that's a long time, but it's okay. You can do this and your kids are going to be fine. And you're still going to have training opportunities because a grandmother can't put the shoes on all the kids at one time. So in the meantime, while she's doing that to this one, you can help this one. Or you can say, let me help her, you help Timmy, or whatever. Okay? So don't worry about it. It's all going to be fine. Okay, let's see what we're saying now. All these sweet little good mornings, you guys. I love you so much. It's so fun to talk to you. Okay. Angel, you are so tired after the holidays. I know. On Wednesday, the day after Christmas, I was so beat, I felt like I had taken Benadryl. And I think it might have been an hangover from the sugar, maybe, because I did eat pie. Raquel says, thank you, blessings to you. You're welcome. Amanda says, waking up to a clean kitchen feels wonderful. Getting back on track. It does feel wonderful. One of my favorite things is to walk down the stairs in the morning and walk into my kitchen knowing that dishwasher has already run and there are dry dishes in there and that everything's sparkly clean and it looks great and I'm ready for the day. It's a great way to start. Okay, let's see. Amanda says, okay, that was Amanda. Joanna says, I love the Feast of the Holy Family. I know. It's hard enough living with your spouse. Okay, we saw that. That was funny. True, that's why I'm single now, but I am happy now. Well, that's okay, Ronna. Sometimes that happens, you know, and I'm sorry. Sherry says, good morning. Hi, Sherry. It was hard to live with adult children, but now they moved across the country. Woohoo! I know you miss them, but it's hard to live with them. Adults are really not intended to live together, in my opinion. I know there are other customs in other countries, and I think the way they think about it is different than the way we think here, and that's why it's hard for us and not for them sometimes. Okay, Angela Nicole. Hi, Angela. I love all the information you give. You're such a big help. Thank you. You're welcome. Happy birthday to Rhonda's sister. Relationships between families can be tricky, Rhonda says. Beautiful Purpose says, thank you for this. You're welcome. Amanda Wood says, great advice. I've lost all my grandparents and would love for them to be here to spoil my babies. I know. Michelle Scarberry, my dad passed away 2011, but my husband's dad is the best papa I could ever ask for my daughter. Aw. Sheen Bean says, any ideas on how to deal with rage attacks from others? Yeah, get away. Do not stay. Get in your car and leave. No attacks are acceptable. Okay. Sammy says, I've been there. It's very difficult, and I knew I needed to leave for the sake of the whole household. Now I dropped my girl off to be spoiled from time to time. Yeah. Elizabeth says, just opened up all the curtains, and apparently it snowed a little this morning, and I'm going back to bed. Elizabeth, enjoy this gorgeous day. Sherry said, we see 4 of our grandchildren all the time, and we also use Alexa all the time. I shined my sink yesterday. Go, Sherry. I did not shine my sink yesterday, I'll have to admit, but I will. Anne from Denmark says hello. Hi, Anne. I mean, I did the evening shine, but I didn't do that, the deep shine your sink that we talked about. I didn't do that. I just didn't have an opportunity. Good going, Sherry, Jennifer says, and I agree, Sherry says. Good morning, Brandy. Dickie Talmadge said, hi, Kat from Santa Paula, California, and Mr. B. Margaret Rose said, good morning to you and Mr. B. Hi, Marg. Joanna said, this talk today is hitting home. My son and daughter-in-law are upset with me right now for not following their rules. Okay, Joanna, you know what to do. It's your job to follow their rules with their kids. It just is. And it's hard and it's embarrassing. And I know you can do it, but you can do it. Brandy says, I love watching your videos. You have such a calmness about you, and I wish I could carry myself this way. I seem on edge all the time, and I will have to watch the playback going to church in a few minutes. Watch it. You'll like it, I hope. Because you know why? All of you guys have such great interaction and give such great texture to these calls. So I hope you do watch it again, Brandy. And Brandy, just pray for grace. I pray for grace for you this year, so maybe you're going to get some grace this year. I believe you will. Didn't go to church today, feeling much better. I'm still in my PJs, Sherry says. Oh, that's why you're sick. I forgot, Sherry. Elizabeth said, I finally did an after dinner routine, and my evening routine still didn't get to bed early enough, but earlier than usual, so yay me. Yay you, Elizabeth. Yay you. All right. How was that for 12 minutes of fun? Okay. Let's see. What can we talk about now? Any other things you want to talk about? I'm ready. I'm open. What do you need to talk about? We have 59 people on here and 4 thumbs ups. That's awesome. I appreciate that. I really do. One of my videos, I get notifications every now and then, and it just said, you had 10,000 views on this video. People really like it. And I told Larry, and he said, some of your things have a lot more than that. I said, they do? That's amazing to me. That is amazing to me. It was one on routines, I think. Rana says, I'll have to get ready to go to church in a few minutes, so I'll try to catch up later. Okay, Rana, that's a good thing to do. What to do when the laundry gets piled up? That's Sheena's question. That's Amanda's question. Okay. And okay, we've got 3 questions. Stop asking questions because I'm going to answer these. You can make comments, but don't ask any more questions until I get these answered. That's my request. Firm but kind. Okay. First question, what do I do when the laundry gets piled up? Amanda, you go into your laundry room, or you go all over the house and pick it up. If it's clean, you put it away, fold it and put it away. If it's dirty, you sort it into piles. Lights, mediums, darks, towels, sheets. That's about it. And then you start washing them 1 load at a time, but you never wash 6 loads in a day. It's way too many. If you're a payroll fly baby, you might have to do that just to get it over with. If it is so piled up and so ridiculous, you may have to take it to a laundromat and get it all done at once. I pray that that's not your situation. That usually means you have way too many clothes in your home. But go ahead and start with 2 loads a day. 2 loads a day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week if you have to, until you get caught up, and then you go back to 1 a day. That's how you do it. Okay, that's question 1. Question number 2. Sheen says, I have a pile of miscellaneous stuff that's so random, and how can I make it fun and get it done? Well, attitude is everything, Sheen Bean. And so miscellaneous stuff, I want you to, number 1, separate it into like items. If it's all separate things and there's no like items, which I find hard to believe if you've got a pile, but just in case, Then you're at the second step, which is look at those piles or things in its own little division and say, throw away, put away, give away. Make a quick decision and do that thing. Throw it away, give it away, put it in your giveaway pile, or go put it away. Don't put it away yet though. Just put it in your put away pile. Go through that for like 15 minutes. Go through your miscellaneous stuff. Then take the trash out, put the stuff in the back of the car, and take all the put away and put it away. Do you know where it goes? That's the trick. You have to know where it goes. Okay? Okay. Hope that helps. Let's see. There's a third question. Michelle Scarberry, how can I overcome anxiety about sending my daughter to preschool? Oh, I remember those days. She will be ready in the spring, but when I think of sending her, I get severe anxiety and fear. Okay, think about that. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of, that somebody won't pick up on her signals? And that's what I used to be afraid of. They won't know what she means when she does that. Is that what you're afraid of? Because it's not true. They'll definitely learn your child. My daughter teaches preschool. That's her job. She was graduated summa cum laude with a degree in education, kindergarten through 8th grade, and she prefers to teach 3-year-olds because 3-year-old teachers usually have a heart for these children, and she adores them, and she helps them in so many ways. She helps them poop on the potty. She does everything, plus train them and teach them and love them and sing with them and pray with them. It's a little Christian school. So I want you to know that you are turning your child over to somebody who loves them. If you feel any differently about that, then take your child out. If you feel like they don't love your child there, then take your child out. It's not the end of the world. If you're not ready, it's almost like being a nursing couple. Remember that when you first started to nurse your baby, if you did? They talk about the nursing couple. Both has to want to nurse. The mother has to want to nurse the baby, and the baby wants to nurse the mother. If that's off, then it's not going to work. So if you're feeling fear and anxiety and you can't get rid of that, and you take your child to school, your child's going to scream her head off when you drop her off because you as the alpha are giving her that vibe, okay? So I want you to understand, first of all, that it's fun for them. They're not staying all day long. They're having fun. The teachers really care. They really, like my daughter takes me with her all over the place to find just the right things to put in I don't remember what it's called, the little box where they feel things and, seasonal things and what story she's going to read and where she's going to have the pictures of the family in each little book for each little child, so when they're feeling lonely, they can sit on the beanbag and look at family pictures and get calm again. She has it all planned out. And if there is a problem and a child can't adjust, then that's also going to be told to the parent. So don't worry. Take a breath. Trust God. Trust your child. Trust the caretakers and let it go. And she's going to have a ball. And you're going to have a little bit of time to yourself for the first time in a long time. All right, let's see what the comments are now. Let's see. So that was Michelle. Rhonda said, I'm amazing. Tara said, oh, Kat, love your live videos and all your support. Look forward to hearing from you each day. Don J said, hey, Kat, any advice on motivation? I want to brainwash myself to keep a clean home. Just do what I say to do every day. That's it. Okay. Good question, Don J. Brandy said, Raquel says, thought about you this morning when I thought I was going to throw up and my toilet needed cleaning. I didn't throw up, but I did clean my toilet right then and there. I'm sorry you didn't feel well, but yes, that's one of the perks of a daily clean toilet. It's sparkling clean, and you don't have to be disgusted when you get sick. It's already disgusting, so why make it more disgusting? I'm talking about getting sick. Okay, let's see. There's so many good comments on here. I'm going through them. Thank you, Sheen said. Owl lover, so blessed that we really don't have much laundry and we are a family of 4. My oldest does her own laundry. I probably do 2 loads a week and wash bedding every other week. Wow, you must be doing giant loads. I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loads a week. For just Larry and I. They're not giant loads though. They're not. And I don't have anybody else doing laundry, it's just me. Joanna says, why does the younger generation not believe it's okay for grandparents to spoil grandchildren? They do not live with me. It was the holidays. It's okay. It doesn't matter what they believe. They believe it, and it's their children, and it's their right. And so you, as a grandparent, do what they ask you to do, Joanna. Just do what they ask you to do. You can kiss your grandbabies. You can love on your grandbabies. That's enough. You don't have to buy, if they don't want you buying things or doing things for them, just love them. They'll know that. Okay. Teresa says, I work with 2-year-olds. Awesome, Teresa. That's a job because they're not potty trained. Michelle says, thanks so much. You're welcome, Michelle. Hope that helped. Patricia said, I feel like I've worked very hard at the end of the day, but I think I don't use my time wisely and there's too much clutter. How do you suggest I become more aware of my time? Planning in your calendar, in your planner. Planning, following your plan, committing to doing your work first thing in the morning before you leave the house, knowing that you're not going to spend more than 10 minutes on paper routine, more than 30 minutes on your morning routine, setting time limits, and following one after the other like a waterfall, like a slinky down a stairway. It's just going to be one after the other until it's done. Okay, that's how you do it. Michelle said, I think I'm afraid of them not being able to pick up on her signals. That's the first thing I said to you because that's what I remember feeling. And someone being mean to her. And she is so sweet. And that thought scares me. If she's so sweet, they're going to love her because little children aren't really mean to each other. Little children at 3 aren't mean to each other. There's not bullying going on among 3-year-olds. They might tussle over a toy, but their teacher is right there. In fact, there may be more than one teacher in the room, and there won't be that issue. This is a really wonderful little garden for them to grow in, I promise. Okay. Let's see. But Michelle, it's funny that you had the same thing that I remember feeling. I was like, what if they don't understand what she means? How do you forgive yourself, this is Jennifer, for not following this system when your kids were babies? They are 13 and 10 now, so I can't let it go. I have trouble making peace with the chaos I put myself through. Darling, your children are only 13 and 10 years old. They're not 27 and 24. They're 13 and 10. They're still children. Your whole life is before you. Their whole life is before them. I want you to forgive yourself. Put it in a bubble. Blow it away. Know that you are among good company. There are many women on here who have grandchildren who are just now deciding to do this. So don't give yourself a hard time about this. In a year, when your children are 11 and 14, they will never remember the way your house looks now. And your house will be organized and you'll feel peaceful and your kids will love being with you. And the truth is, when they hit 13 and 14, it starts being all about them. But they're still children, so they're not going to notice. And the one that's 10 and when that one turns 11, they're so young, they're not going to notice. They're going to notice. They're not dumb, right? They're going to notice. And you're going to share with them, hey, we're getting organized. You know what? Mom's messy, but she's going to be neater, and y'all are going to be neater because I've taught you how to be messy, but I'm going to teach you how to be neat. And this is the easiest thing to do because it's just a few little minutes. I don't want you ever working more than 10 minutes on anything I ever give you. It's just like backwards. And then you're doing that to yourself too. Talk to yourself, coach yourself every day. You can do this. Starts by putting one foot in front of the other. If you fall down, get right back up. If you ever watch a baby learning to walk, and I know you have kids, when they fall down, they don't cry and say, wow, this is too hard, I'm just going to forget it. They just jump back up and walk some more. And that's what I want you to do. Jump back up and take some more baby steps. Before you know it, you'll be running through the house like your little children instead of stumbling and falling. And it's part of growth. Relapse is part of growth. So don't feel bad if you relapse, if you fall off the wagon, as they call it. You're going to do fine, okay? Okay. Hope that helps you. All right. That was Jennifer. Sherry says, do you play catch up on anything you needed to do during the week? It's the Sabbath. I do not try to play catch up ever. And I do not encourage you to do catch up ever. And I encourage you to have the Sabbath as a day of rest and not a day of work. I do. The only thing I do on Sundays is I'll take my planner and kind of plan out the next week. And today I'm going to actually put the birthdays in for January. So, but that to me is fun. That is not work. That's play. Okay, because I like to raise chickens on paper, as Mr. B calls it. Okay. Anne says, yes, tips on motivation. My daughter, husband, and grandbaby came for Christmas. Now afterwards the house is so empty and I have no motivation. Why not? You're very important. You are very important. And your husband is very important. Oh, I see, it was her husband. Okay, so you're by yourself, I'm assuming. Well, Anne, that's okay. You're very important, and you're a precious child of God. And everything you see with your eyes is meant just for you. Like if you open your door and you walk outside and you look up at the sky and you see the clouds and the heavens and maybe the stars or the sun or maybe it's just a snowy day. That view that you're looking at that very moment, no one else is looking at it from exactly your point of view. It was made just for you. So you're very, very important in this world. And you're very important to your grandchildren and to your daughter and your son-in-law. And so they want you to love yourself. I want you to love yourself. So let's start loving you. Let's get your house organized again. Starting with your morning routine, following through. Today we're only doing three routines as part of our 2-layer cake. Morning routine, where you make your bed, you get yourself dressed, you put on moisturizer, put a little makeup on, a little jewelry, put your PJs away, wipe the sink out, swish the toilet, go in the kitchen, put your dishes away, make yourself some breakfast. That's step 1 of your 3. And the second one is after you eat some lunch today, which you will, you're going to put your dishes away. And then the third is the before bed routine, where you're going to look at your planner and see what you have planned for tomorrow, lay out your clothes for tomorrow, pick out your clothes lovingly for yourself, and then do your before bed routine. Get to bed on time. Make sure you take your makeup off. Put some moisturizer on your skin. Use some eye cream. Brush your hair. Take a nice warm bath if you want to. Make sure your dishwasher is running or you've washed up your dishes. Clean the sink and just get a little squirt and wipe it out. I love Mrs. Myers. And put a fresh towel out. That is taking care of yourself. Those are the routines. And the only other thing we have today is to renew our spirit, which is such an integral part of your life. So I hope that you do take the time to reflect on the goodness that God has given you in your life and the blessings, and give Him some worship and some thanks. And in turn, you'll feel extra good. That's what I want you to do. Okay. Hope that helps. But we have to love ourselves, because look, if you're not lovable to yourself, how can you be lovable to others, right? Okay, Carrie P. I'm still going through boxes after moving and a divorce a year ago. It's a much smaller house and things that don't all have a place. I get overwhelmed and emotionally easily. Well, getting a divorce will make you emotionally upset off and on when you least expect it, because it's like a death. It's hard. So the thing it sounds like to me, though, is that you may not have enough room in your house for your stuff, and maybe you need to get rid of some things. Things are not important. They are not important. They make things every day. That's what my Mr. B always says. They make those things every day. Bless someone else with them, because they're cursing you right now. You're not happy. Get rid of some stuff. Give yourself some breathing room. Bless yourself and take care of yourself. That's the most important thing. And you know what? There's nothing sweeter than a small home that's appointed beautifully, that doesn't have crap everywhere. But you have your books where you want them, and you have your shoes and your clothes where you want them. You've got just enough linens, and you've got just enough towels, and you've got just enough pots and pans and dishes. And when you open the doors and cupboards and drawers, things aren't bulging out and falling over. It can be so sweet to have a little home. So I want you to change your mind and do that. Bless others and bless yourself. Okay, I hope that helps. And know that you'll feel better year after year as you get further and further away from your divorce. Okay. Try to see. That was Carrie. Okay, here's Elizabeth. I started following FlyLady again back at the end of September. I was doing everything Marla said about Christmas cards, so this was the first in 6 years that I got Christmas cards out by December 1st. That's my goal for next year. I didn't do Christmas cards this year because I just couldn't. I was super busy with sick family. But yeah, I love that idea. And that's what I'm doing. Next year I'm going to write them out at Thanksgiving and have them ready for December 1st. Al Lover, I do giant loads and my husband's work clothes go in the dry cleaning because no one wants to put me in charge of ironing. Well, that's good. So that's how you have your things. I just don't enjoy doing giant loads. But it's up to you. So you're the alpha. You're the CEO. You get to do what you want. So I'm glad you have control of your laundry. That's awesome. I don't like the iron either. Raquel says, catching you live today was such a treat. You've been the highlight of my morning. Have a beautiful day. Thank you, Raquel. It's been 30 minutes. I'm going to go in just a minute. Angie, my trash man is going to hate me next week. Mine, I watched him out the window, the recycle man. He was jamming it in there trying to get it in the container before he emptied it into his big old truck. But he did it. It rained, so they got softer, the boxes. How was the football game, Brandy? It was fantastic. We won. It was fantastic. I was looking for one more touchdown, but that's okay. Sherry says, thank you. You're welcome, Sherry. I got my shop. This is Elizabeth Whaley Avery. I got my shopping and food shopping done on Thursday before Christmas. Sunday, my car broke down. I was without a car through Christmas, but because I had everything done and food in the house, me and my fur babies were okay. See? It works. That was thanks to FlyLady and you and FlyLady Diane. Thank you, thank you. You are very welcome. Margaret said, my mom would say my daughter was not spoiled. She was fortunate. I love Betty Rose, Margaret. She was so sweet. She was bossy too. She was bossy. Maybe that's where I get my bossiness from, my sweet neighbor, Miss Betty Rose. Angie Lee likes that, Margaret. Al Lover, how would you handle a parent who has lived alone most of her life that now wants to live with you because she's getting older, but she's very critical and demanding? I would have a conversation with her, or not. I mean, it's up to you. Do you have room in your home? Here's the thing. When you bring an adult into your home, especially an older adult, it will change your life until she moves out or passes away. It will change your life. The whole dynamic of your home will be different because there will always be someone else at the table, someone else in the living room, someone else in the dining room, someone else in the bathroom, someone else in the bedroom. It's hard. It's very hard. And so if she's critical and demanding, I wouldn't want to encourage that relationship. I wouldn't. I'm sorry that she's old and that she's not having, she doesn't feel like she can live alone, and that's scary, and I'm sorry for her. But maybe the best place for her would be if she, like assisted living or something like that. It's up to you. Have a conversation with your husband about it. See what think about how it's going to impact your children, your pets, everything. And I don't mean that to be rude or selfish. I'm just telling you the truth. We are instructed in the Bible to honor our father and our mother, to live a long life, and that's a promise, to give that person honor. But that doesn't mean that you have to have them live with you or that you have to live with them. But if she has to go into assisted living, that you go see her and love her. And being critical sometimes is part of aging because they get uncomfortable. All right, let's see. I hear Mr. B saying something downstairs. I have no idea what he's saying because I can't hear him because the door's closed. But that's what I would do, Owl Lover. It's up to you, though. You've got to make that decision with your heart. And we have been living out of a suitcase for several months now because of water damage. Oh, my goodness. I almost can't wait any longer to move in and to get going on the entire system. Well, good. You have a good build-up for it. Just don't overdo it when it happens. Just don't overdo it. Patricia, when I leave church, I always feel grace and peace. I feel grace and peace after you speak. That's the sweetest thing ever. Thank you, Patricia. Megan says, hi, Kat. I'm tuning in a little later. That's okay. Lisa Krasinski, good morning and happy Sunday, Kat. Hi, Lisa. Misty said, I'm an 80%er working on becoming a 20%er. You can do it, Lisa. Misty. My mom always said I was lazy because she had a maid. And I didn't do much growing up, and now I'm stuck in a rut not wanting to do housework. Look, here's the deal. We had a maid too, and my mother was a perfectionist, and she still made us do everything, and it wasn't fun. But here's the deal. No matter what the situation was in your life, or is now that you know it, the excuse is gone. So because you didn't do anything as a child, and you were fortunate and didn't have to, or unfortunate and weren't trained to, that excuse is now gone because now you're aware of it. So now we're going to get on with our vocation of being a homemaker and doing the things I tell you to do. Change your mind and change your life. And you're going to feel so in control, so much peace, and you're going to love yourself for it. And that's my promise at the beginning of almost every single video, and because it's true. So you can do this, okay? I know you can. Okay. That was Misty. All right, so you'll be a 20%er. Elizabeth said, please explain what you mean by 80% and 20%er. Okay, I mean that 20% of the people will actually do what I'm telling them to do. 80% will use this as entertainment. So are you watching this as entertainment or as a dream or a plan that you're never going to put into, bring to fruition? That's what I was trying to say. Or are you going to actually try to do this? And remember, you're not going to be great at it. Just like the first time you sat down at the piano or the first time you got into the pool, you couldn't play piano or you couldn't swim. And it takes a lot of practice to get good. But one day you can play the piano effortlessly, or you can swim effortlessly, or you can run 5 miles effortlessly. Whatever it is, something that you've tried to do. Maybe you got a new job. Maybe you work outside the home and it was so hard when you started, and 6 months later it's like falling off a log. That's the way it's going to be. So when I say you're an 80%er, are you an 80%er or a 20%er? I'm saying, are you watching the swimming instructions from the side of the pool and never getting in the pool and trying it out? Because you'll never learn to swim on dry land. That's what I'm saying. So be a 20%er. It will make a difference in your life. Because that's the actual fact. 80% of the people don't do. They just get inspired and never do. 20% actually do. But I'm thinking you guys are different. I think that there may be more of you that will do it. Okay, Misty said, by the way, can we change our errand day to Friday instead of Thursday? You can do anything you want. That's totally up to you. That's why you have a planner. I'm just giving you the suggestion of the standard way of doing it. I change mine all the time, depending on if I'm not home or whatever. Or if you're on vacation, or like when I used to have to spend the night at my parents' home for 4 days in a row, sometimes a week in a row, I couldn't do things on the same days that I was telling you guys about it. And it's okay. You're the alpha. You're the CEO. You pick the day. The idea is that you do it every week, including your free day. All right, let's see. Thank you. Love your advice, Al Lover says. Morning, Kat. What are we talking about? Well, we're done, Yasmin. I'm about to hang up. But we talked about Sunday, renewing your spirit, and then families. That's what we started out with, and then some other questions. Misty said, Megan says, you aren't alone. I'm like that too. Well, Megan, I hope you listened. Or Megan, I think it's Megan. Tierza, hi Tierza, so precious. When are you coming to Florida? I can't remember. I've written it down somewhere. Candace, happy to see, I think that means happy to say I'm an 80%er. You're happy to say you're an 80%er? Dickie's saying 20%er. Go, Dickie. Brandy said, off to church. Have a great day. Bye, Brandy. God bless. Sherry said, as I feel better, I'm turning into an 80%er a little more each day. The idea is you want to be a 20%er. An 80%er sits on the sidelines. A 20%er does it. You want to be a 20%er. Megan said, I did listen too. Thanks, Kat. You're welcome. Gretchen said, I just finished my morning routine while listening to you. Thanks for your kind, gentle encouragement. You're welcome. Okay, ladies, I'm going to leave you now. I hope you have a fabulous Sunday. I will pop back in this evening to tell you goodnight and go through your evening motivation. Have a fabulous day, and always remember that you are beautiful.